Hi, it's Christine from the channel Christine and Celeste, and this is going to be a long one. So, if you have your tea or coffee ready and get comfortable, get your cards if you'd like, because I'm going to do a spread today that I found on Facebook. I don't know why. I never use spreads, and for the moment, I'm just like want to try spreads. Obviously, I don't post every spread I do, but I found some really interesting ones lately and very inspiring people in a community. So this one is called Open My Eyes Spread from Emerald Tarot, and I put all the links and the prompts below. And with a title like this and looking at the prompts, I thought I need a deck with busy things, more busy pictures. So I decided to choose the Golden Tarot by Cat Black. This one has a long history with me because I discovered it more than 10 years ago. A solicitor that was part of our tarot group had it, and it's the only deck she ever had. And I remember looking at it and thinking, oh, this is just not me. It's beautiful and everything, but this is not me, and it's so classical, and it seems so religious and old, and But then I could see her doing readings with it, and it was a very, very good tarot. So I think it's a couple of years ago, maybe 3. Time just flies. I decided to buy it. And then I used it a bit and I thought, no, maybe it's not for me. So I traded it. The trade fell through. So I kept it and then had another go at it, showing you that sometimes some decks, if you know they're good, because some decks are just, no, really, let's face it. But when you know there's something, you've seen it at work and you know there's something in it, insisting sometimes is good, because that's what I did. And today it happened. So I did a spread and something completely different came up. If you have watched my channel for a while, you know that I started doing professional readings with the Aquarian Tarot. And one day I was reading for a client and chakras showed up, and I knew absolutely nothing really. I mean, I was doing yoga at the time, and chakra was just a concept of a posture in yoga. Oh, you open your throat chakra. Okay, cool. Let's open it, and get twisted and open it. Let's do it. But that's why it stopped. So I had a concept of it. So I was doing this reading for this person, and then these chakra words came out of my mouth, and the whole chakra system opened up in the front of my eyes. And this is what happened with the Golden Tarot today. I stopped shaking that box. It's a beautiful box too. So let's get on with the reading, and I'll show you what's happening with it. So the first prompt is, what am I not seeing? So yes, so I chose a busy deck. I chose this one. Let's go. King of Wands. First of all, how beautiful. The first thing that I saw on this card is the black. It's unusual. The black color used in tarot. And if I remember well from old memories from the Marseille, that black is used for earth, to represent the earth. And I would even go further with this. To me, it's the earth star. If you follow the chakras, the earth star is the incarnation star. So I looked at it, and then I looked down, just thinking, about that. And I saw another card that was just sat there. That I didn't pick, I didn't see it fly or nothing. So I picked it up, and it was the Wheel of Fortune, and I thought, oh, the tarot is telling me this is a turning point into my relationship with this tarot, or something about me, right? It's going to reveal something about me. So I was just thinking about the incarnation, and I thought, oh, geez. So this reading turned into an incarnation / past life reading when, you know, I'm trying to look at what I'm not seeing. So let's carry on. So the Black Star, let's go. So you have the crest at the top here, and to me, I thought about the United Kingdom crest straight away. Obviously, there's only the lion here. You don't have the unicorn on the other side here, but it doesn't matter if it's not exactly the same thing. It's what you can relate it to, because that's what you do as a reader. You create your own vocabulary, you have your own dictionary, and then you see something, and a part of your a word from your dictionary pops up, and straight away UK crest just came up. So I know I do have a past life in the UK. I am karmically linked to the UK somehow. So I don't know if I lived there, if I was with someone from there, whatever, but I'm karmically linked to that country. The Persian rug at the top too, it was another interesting link. Now, I don't feel any links or have any proofs or anything about a link to this country. However, I remember being younger, in my 20s, when there was the war in Lebanon, I remember being extremely affected by it. And obviously, you know, we're always affected by wars, but this one, for some reason, I was watching everything about, I don't know, I felt like they were invading my home, and I've got absolutely no link to Lebanon. So it reminded me of that, but this is Persia. This is a Persian rug, right? So I started thinking about, is there a link between the UK and Persia? Was there a war between the two? And if yes, if there was a war, who was king or queen at the time? Because, you know, dates with me are a bit... So Wikipedia is fantastic for that. But before I move on to that, well, yeah, let's go to Wikipedia. So I looked at it, and there was the Anglo-Persian War in 1856, between 1856 and 1857. And who was king or queen at the time? Queen Victoria, right? So actually the king here is a queen. But I thought that if it was a queen, I would have picked up a queen. But then I remembered the black lizard. It's funny, my associations are crazy. Sorry about this. Purists have closed down their computer by now. But the lizards, you know, they lose their tail and they grow a new tail, right? So it's a king with no tail. If I can call Queen Victoria a king with no tail, but there you go. Please don't insult me. It's only an interpretation. So yes. So I'm going through that. Another thing I noticed too, so there's the Anglo-Persian War. The king is looking up at the rug. By the way, the rug made me think a lot about my my Oversouls deck, right? It's there's probably the mandala. So yeah, looking up like that, and I thought, okay, I'm gonna check if for me looking up is a sign that it's from an incarnation point of view in my cards, because, you know, everything you have to give it a meaning to what it means to you, and I thought that was interesting. So anyway, and he's got his left arm on his heart, holding his wand in the right, and there's the fire in the background. There's just so much. I can't go and describe everything, but I'm just telling you what was really significant to me. there is a lot more, like always, in this card, but I have to move on a little bit. I think I said everything about this card I wanted to say. Right, so what am I not seeing? This is a past life incarnation matter, right? So a link between the UK and Persia at the time. So I have to keep that in mind. And Queen Victoria. Second question, what impact does this have on me? Because this was a war, so maybe I was part of, I don't say I was Queen Victoria at all, I'm not saying this, but you know, maybe I was part of this war. I was there in Persia and I was setting fire, because look, you know, the one and the fire there, I was setting fire to the place. I was, you know, whatever tools they had for war at the time. So the result, the impact of this on me is the Ace of Coins, and once is in the most beautiful Ace of Coins ever. If you like that type of art, but I mean, look at this angel, how delicately she's got this coin, and it's an old coin, you know, the ones with the hole in the middle. That's quite interesting. I didn't look into that actually. I should. There's so much in these cards. But what I noticed, and you don't see it at first, right? There are animals. So here there's a lion, just there. At the top, I'll show you here, there's a peacock with the tail. And I think that's it. For animals, there's the lilies here. Okay, I think that's it. Yeah. So, the lion, what does he say to me? Well, I'm not Leo or anything related, nothing in Leo in my chart I checked, so this is not really related to that. So when it's like this, because see this deck, you can, there's so much in it. You can learn about people, as in history. You have animal, so you can, animal totems, you have angels, you have flowers. There is so much, it's so rich. So I have my best friend here, Animals Speak by Ted Andrews. I mean, if you don't have this book yet, really do not hesitate. Even if you're not into animal totems, just if you like animals, you discover so much about it. So when I'm not sure about an animal, I just read about it and see what word comes up, shows up in my mind, that highlights, if you want, on the page. And what highlighted was it lives in prides, so it means community, right? And it's funny because this angel is secluded in a cave, so that is the result of that. It's my seclusion. I'm not secluded, but I'm not the most, how shall I say, social person. So, I mean, a lot of tarot readers are like this, but it's a trait we have. But then you push it a little bit, and sometimes I have to kick myself to go out, and that's not right. So, so the lion is waiting there, right? He's stuck inside on his own. The peacock made me laugh, because what I learned about peacock is that there's a legend that says that the peacock screeches every time it sees its feet, because the peacock's got ugly feet. It's a beautiful, most beautiful bird as a male, but with ugly feet. So, and feet reminded me straight away of my mum, because she was a reflexologist. So here we are again in personal history, and with the lilies that represent motherhood. I'm not a mother, so it can only be my mother. And this card is so full of my mother in it, it's incredible. So the impact it has on me is that all my treasures, which is all my creativity, because remember the King of Wands is Mr. Creation, right? Mr. Creative. All my creativity is inside. I keep it for myself. I have the angel that's with me, and I believe the angel is my mother because she was an angel. She wasn't a fantastic mother, but she was an angel. And the lion that's on his own and he should be with other lions. But, you know, there's still that opening here. So it's fine in a way, but I need to share more. I mean, part of my channel is for this, is to share, because I'm not very able to share much in everyday life with people. I do share, but I don't share as much as I do, funny enough, on this channel. I share other things. It's different, I suppose. It's different. This comes from deep within, and maybe I don't share as deep within with my friends, which is another weird fact, but let's stop about me. So yes, so look at your cards, right? Every detail, like I didn't look at that, I missed it, and I do miss things too. Why is there a hole in a coin? Was it because I've seen some old French coins with the hole in it? Was it because they put it in a string, on a string or something? I can't remember now. I can't. So I need to check that. Maybe it's significant to me too. She's turned towards the future. She's looking towards the future, where the king was looking up, but he's turned toward the past, right? So this is definitely a past card. This is definitely the way she is now, but turned towards the future. So that creativity, I need to bring it out. Ooh. Why can I not see it? Well, this is when something else happened. I was born in the French Alps. I was born nearly at the feet of the highest peak in Europe, the Mont Blanc, right? Which looks not exactly like this, but is well portrayed like this, if you want. And I freaked because I went to past life, to my current life, to my birth, right? And this, yeah, this is a crazy spread. Try it. I don't know if it's going to be as crazy as mine because it's not finished. I still have more to tell you. So here, the way, if that's the picture of my birth, it's so accurate in a way, because I remember my mother had contractions for 24 hours before I came out. I didn't want to come out. I was hanging for dear life. And I remember this. I don't remember much after, like the first couple of years, but I remember that. It's a feeling, you know, it's not exactly a memory, it's not a picture, it's a feeling I had of, oh, I'm scared to come out. So there's the 3 swords in the past, and there's 5 in the future. And here I am on a stream of water. It's funny, the veil and the long red dress is the incarnation, with the black veil on earth. So it's the incarnation on earth. Except that there's this a piece of cloth, not only on the eyes, but on the left ear. I still don't know what that's about. I'm still wondering why the left ear. I think because I'm a bit clairaudient, maybe it's the one I'm using. So maybe it's showing that I came with already these, and I know that I haven't developed anything. I took many courses to develop it, and I never developed it. I always had what I had, and that's that. And it's the side and and the left ear. So maybe it's that. But there's still 5 swords. If I turn around, there's still 5 swords. And maybe I didn't want to turn around. So the question was, why can I not see it? Well, obviously, because I've got a blindfold, just like Justice, by the way. And maybe because I don't want to see it. I mean, who would want to turn around when they're looking at 3 swords and, you know, at the back, if you turn around, there's 5 more. You think, psh, I'm not turning around. I need courage for it. I need courage for it. So I was thinking about my birth, right? And this is when something else came back in my mind. First, I have to show you. This is just an A4 holder, right? What I do is that I put used paper in it, yeah, and I write down on used paper. So I make that up. And I was thinking about my birth, and then what came back is that in February I went to a health fair. Told you this was a long one. And I saw this astrologer, so imagine in a health fair, it was half an hour, there were plenty of people around, well, plenty, not that many, but there were people moving around and shouting and all that. But this guy just went straight to my birth. I mean, he described my birth so well that I nearly choked in the middle of that place. And he told me something very, very specific about my birth that I didn't know about, right? Then he insisted, he said that it created a pattern in me that I keep doing and doing. And I was like, no, I don't do that. I don't do that. And then he said to me, but don't you do exactly that? And then it all dawned on me that there's a pattern of things. I don't really want to discuss it right now because it's not the point of this, but there's a pattern that I do and that I didn't know I was doing, and I tried not to do it, right? It's nothing addictive or anything, it's just unconscious. And I tried not to do it, and it took all my willpower not to, because it's ingrained in me. So I was thinking about him, because after that I said to my best friend, I said, look, I need a drink. I need to sit down and have a drink because I'm just, my head is spinning right now. And she said, oh, why? I said, well, let me tell you what happened with the astrologer. So I tell her, we have a drink, and then we look at the time and say, oh my God, there's this medium that's going to have a talk in a minute. Let's go. We go, we sit down. Within, I don't know, 15 minutes of the talk, he says exactly the same words. In his conference, I didn't know this guy. He says exactly the same words than the astrologer told me that I told my friend like 15 minutes before. And it's something so specific, it can't come up like this in a conversation. So I'm floored again on my seat, right? So I was thinking about him, thinking, I never got his... Did I ever get his number? Because I don't really go to mediums because I don't want to really contact my past family members. It's not something that attracts me personally, but it has other gifts. So I thought, did I ever take his number? Because really, you know, he said that in a conference that was so personal to me, and that, you know, it can only apply to me. This one, I tell you, you know, it's like if you were born with 4 toes, you know what I mean? There's not that many people, so you would know out of, I don't know, 30 people in a room that it's for you. You know, it's an example. I've got all my toes, but... So I'm thinking about him, and I'm looking at my notes, right, that I made, like that, and out comes sliding out his name and his what I took in that place about him after the conference. So I emailed him before I filmed this video. I stopped my reading. I emailed him and I said, look, I think I need to see you. And we'll see what he says. So anyway, coming back. So that was my birth and the whole story with it. Yeah. Next question How can I open my eyes? And we've got here my card, as in I'm Virgo, so the Hermit, I can relate to it straight away. That's my comfort zone. That's my comfort zone. And it's true, I'm always in introspection. And if you watch my channel, obviously, you know, if I do a reading, it would be difficult for me to pretend, to do a pretend reading. I don't like that. I'm trying not to say too much about me every time, but then that's what works. So the Hermit, and this is a particular Hermit too, again. You can see is with a first of all, it's Saint Francis of Assisi, and is known as the patron saint of animals, right? So that suits me. The first thing I thought about it is that I need to go back to the woods, and it's true that I live in a lovely region. We have the sea, we have the mountains, we have everything, but no trees. Trees don't grow much here because the water is salty, the soil is salty, and it's not fantastic for trees to grow. But I do like forests a lot, and I miss it. So I thought about that straight away, to go for walks in forests. I need to do this. Also, so he's cuddling a deer, a young deer. And what I like, and you don't see it straight away either, there's the cat here, there's the quail here, and you see the woo. The cat is tempted, right? But there's Saint Francis here that is protecting the animals. So I do like that, because I'm always campaigning. That's one of my campaigns I do. It's to stop this plastic thing. Plastic drives me crazy. I have two pet hates that I've had for a while now. It's plastic usage. They know me in my town as when I go to the market, they call me Miss No Plastic. I don't know, no plastic. Because they always said, "You want a bag with it?" I'm like, no. And my second pet hate is made in China, but that's for different reasons. So, but plastic is definitely one of them. So it's not just about the environment, it's about what we consume. And you know, I'm guilty too in other ways. Paper, cards, right? They come from trees too, so if you start looking. But I'm always about trying to not have unnecessary stuff if I can, right? Plastic, it just means I use one of my bags I have, and I always have it in my handbag, and that's that, and I take that out. Anyway, please do if you can too. Because if you see the result of it, I love the sea, but my God, the state of it. So I love this Hermit. I love that he's Saint Francis of Assisi. It really talks to me. So the question was, how can I... You see, it's very difficult because it brings me in so many different levels, these cards. So I can open my eyes, maybe go more into my fight for the environment. Yeah, I won't join the Green Party or anything, because I'm not a group person. Obviously, with the Hermit, I think you guessed this, but you know, I tell my friends if they can. I don't force them or make them or anything. Give the information around. You know, try and in stores tell them, no, you know, stop with that plastic. And it's actually now you have to pay in France for a plastic bag, but there's a long life habit. Yeah. The last question, because I need to wrap this up, really, is what benefits will I have from seeing it? So, from being closer to the earth, once again, maybe fighting for the earth, to at least informing. I don't like the word fighting, but informing as much as I can about just plastic bags, because that's a big environment issue. That will open my eyes on my incarnation. See, it's all linked. So my last card is, what benefit will I have from seeing it? And look at now, I got the star. So I had, obviously when you do a reading, what's important too, you look at what elements you have, how many majors, how many elemental cards you have, and what's not there. I don't have any cups or water. The only cups I have is in the star. So, but I have all the 4 elements with the cups here. So that's another very interesting. And then the Wheel of Fortune that showed me that. Pay attention to this reading. So the star with our animals too. You see, the animals are there. So one of how is it called? They're not cups. Pitchers. One of the pitchers, the water is going to go on the ground, the other one in the water. See, the water there. There's a mermaid in the water. And the mermaid used to chant or sing to attract sailors, right? So this mermaid is swimming in that stream, so it means, you know, going with the flow and bringing things with me, attracting, because she was a mermaid, attracts. So it's about attracting. So if I can get grounded to this earth as I'm supposed to be for so long, then I can attract things more and go with the flow. There's 8 stars, which 7 small and 1 big one, but I don't know what's underneath the bigger star here. I can't decipher what it is. I really can't see what it could be. But another thing I noticed there by the house, sorry, I don't know, my camera is not that great, but it's a water wheel house where the water is used to produce power, energy. So it's about transforming things too. Transforming, using this energy from the earth and the water and be guided by the star. It's just a beautiful reading. I think I'm going to stop there. I'm tired now. The funny thing is, the first legend of mermaids, right, comes from Assyria. Now, Assyria is in the Middle East, and it's now many countries. But what country was part of it? Iran. So Iran, Persia. So there's my first card coming back here. So that's my loop. My first card of Persia with the carpet coming back here. With the flow, going with the flow, right? So much more to say, but I think I'm empty right now. So see you soon. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching.